Hey everyone! In a recent video I mentioned that I wanted to read more mysteries. Mysteries is one of my favorite genres. I've been reading it since I was a young preteen and I just really wanted to get back to my roots and read a lot more of them. And today I want to share with you 5 mysteries that I want to read hopefully quite soon, hopefully in 2015. I'm also potentially looking for some buddy readers, so if you're interested in doing kind of a casual buddy read with me, let me know if you're interested in any of the books I mentioned or a different mystery. It doesn't have to be one of these 5, but let's just get started. The first book I want to read is a classic mystery. It's almost embarrassing to admit I haven't read any of her books, and I'm talking about Agatha Christie. I haven't read any of her novels as of this point, and she is like the classic mystery writer. So I definitely need to change that. And I figure if I'm going to start with her books, I want to start with the best. So I'm planning on reading And Then There Were None, which was previously titled 10 Little Indians. And that's all a book about a group of, I believe, 10 strangers who are invited to a mysterious private island by this mysterious billionaire or millionaire. And slowly they start to die. And this is a case of a classic closed room mystery where there's only so many people involved and you're trying to guess who it could be. I know it's very well acclaimed. It's arguably being called her best, or at least one of her most popular books, and I want to give it a try. So that has to happen. I can't call myself a fan of mystery novels and then have not read Agatha Christie. I need to fix that pronto. Now another mystery author I need to read is Tana French. This here is Into the Woods. And I also have her second book, The Likeness. I own these books, so there's no reason that I haven't read these yet. I understand these are about a detective. It's set in Dublin, Ireland, where growing up, 2 children went missing with this person, and now that he's a grown-up, he's a detective, and another girl has now gone missing in the same woods where his own friends went missing as a child. So it's not only dealing with his current mystery, but also dealing with his past, and I don't think those children were ever found. And I love when mysteries have the element of kind of a cold case, and it just sounds so good. I've heard nothing but good things about these novels. I understand that she's a very good writer, and just they're really pitched as very high quality novels, high quality mysteries, and I just really look forward to diving into the series. I love that there's so many books, so if I enjoy this, I think I have like 5 or 6 more to read, so that makes me really excited. Next is a mystery that has been on my TBR for so long, and that is Defending Jacob by William Landay. This book came out a couple years back, but I just never got around to reading it. And the setup, as I understand, is there's a lawyer in a small community that's very well respected, and then one day his son is accused of murdering his fellow classmate. I think the setup is so interesting. I don't want to know more than that, and I just can't wait to get into it. Definitely one I'd love to buddy read because I've heard that there's a lot to talk about in this book, and it's been pitched as good for a book club. So if you haven't read that one and are meaning to, please let me know. I really would love to read that one with other people. Next book I want to read is Blood Harvest by Sharon Bolton, or S.J. Bolton as she was previously known. I just recently finally read a book by her, and that was Little Black Lies. I did a separate review on that because I got it from NetGalley. But I really enjoyed it, and I've been wanting to read her backlist for quite some time, even before I read this one. And I think this is a really good place to start. It is a standalone, which I tend to prefer in mysteries, and the setup is a young woman named Jillian who I think 2 years ago lost her child in a fire, and she still somehow thinks that somehow her child survived this fire. And that's the setup to the story. With mysteries, I don't want to know much more than that, but it just sounds really intriguing. I really enjoyed Bolton's writing in her other books, so I think I'll really enjoy this one as well. There was lots of twists and turns in that one, so I'm hoping something similar in this one. Now the last book I want to talk about today is called Sworn to Silence by Castillo. And this is the start of a series, as I understand, about a detective, Kate, who has an Amish background. The first book is about a serial killer who starts killing all these people, and something about the method that he's killing people by is similar to this old case where there used to be a serial killer that was never caught. I love when there's kind of that history background, maybe it's a cold case that gets reopened. Totally love that. I've heard good things about the series, and again, there's lots of other books. If I enjoy this one, there's more books to read after that. It just sounds like a lot of fun. It's well rated on Goodreads, and definitely curious to pick it out So those are 5 mystery books that I'm really excited to read and hope to read in the next year. If you're interested in reading any of them with me, please let me know. I tend to be kind of a casual buddy reader, so I tend to chat on either Twitter or Goodreads, but I figured it'd be a lot of fun, particularly because they're mystery books, to have someone to read with. Because then you get to talk about the ending and what you thought and who you thought was gonna, if you predicted the right twist and turn. And there's a lot of spoiler type content that you just can't talk about in a spoiler-free review, so it's fun to kind of chat behind the scenes and have someone to read it with. Also, if there's any other mystery books that you think I'd enjoy, please let me know down below. I'm always looking for recommendations, or if it's something that you're interested in reading, maybe we could read that together. Otherwise, please let me know which of these books are your favorites or which ones you've read, and I can prioritize my reading accordingly based off who's most excited about which book, and we can kind of go from there. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Okay, bye.